In this video I will explain how to pay off all your debts with the Snowball Effect method. Trying to pay off your debt may seem overwhelming, but there are strategies that can help you. Generally, there are different options for paying off debt and each method has its advantages and disadvantages. However, a very efficient way to pay off all your debts is with the Snowball Effect method, which is quite simple. The first thing to do is to identify how many debts we have. To do this, let's use a practical example. Bob has 5 debts. He has a mortgage for €20,000, a credit for a car for €10,000, a credit card with a balance of €1,000, a debt with a private lender for €800, and the last debt is a commercial house for an appliance of €300. Once the debts have been identified, it is necessary to identify how much is paid monthly for each of them. For the mortgage, Bob pays a monthly payment of €500. For the car, €280. For the credit card, a minimum payment of €100. With the lender, he pays €50, and with the trading house, he pays only €25. For this method to work, debts must be ordered from smallest to largest installment. The idea is to pay the smallest debt until you reach the largest one. Let's continue with the example. To pay the debt of the commercial house, it is important that you can pay more than the monthly installment. Let's say about €50, for example, but it could be even more if your budget allows it. Then, we will pay the commercial house the installment plus the extra €50, for a total of €75. These €75 we will pay until we end up with the €300. Once we eliminate this debt, we already have the extra €75 for the next debt. For example, for the lender, we would have the installment of the €50 plus the €75 released from the previous debts, which gives a total of €125. In the same way, we continue paying until we leave the debt with the lender at zero. So far, we have cancelled 2 debts. Now we can continue with the third debt, which would be the credit card debt. We had mentioned that it has a balance of €1,000 and that the installment is €100. Therefore, if we add the free balance of the previous debts, it is €125, that is, €225 that we can pay every month. Let's continue with the exercise until we leave this completely at zero, and so on we continue paying the vehicle, the house, and any other debt we have. It is important that during the process you have a lot of patience, since this can take up to 6 months or even 2 or more years, depending on your level of indebtedness. Another super important aspect is not to take on new debts, since you would have to start the cycle practically from scratch. What did you think of this method to pay your debts? Did you know about it? If so, write it in the comments.